The Catedral Metropolitana de la Asunción de la Santísima Virgen María a los Cielos is located on the north side of the Plaza de la Constitución in downtown Mexico City. It was built right over Templo Mayor to consolidate Spanish power. The Mexica buildings were completely destroyed, and a large part of the stones of those ancient temples were used in the construction of the new Spanish temple. It was Hernán Cortés himself who laid the first stone. It measures approximately 194 feet wide by 420 feet long, and it has a height of 220 feet to the top of the towers. It is one of the most outstanding works of Latin American architecture. According to the plans of the Spanish architect Claudio de Arciniega, who was inspired by the Spanish cathedrals of Valladolid and Jaén, it was built around a church that was erected on the site shortly after the Spanish conquest of Tenochtitlan, which was completely demolished to build another more majestic. The works began in 1573, the interior was completed in 1667, and the exterior until 1813. Its construction took just under 250 years. By the very fact of its extensive construction period, it allowed the various architectural styles that were in force and in vogue in those centuries to be integrated into it, such as Gothic, Baroque, Churrigueresque, Neoclassical, among others. The same happened with the ornaments, paintings, sculptures, and furniture in the interior. The cathedral has 4 facades with doorways flanked by columns and statues. It has 5 naves that are made up of 51 vaults, 74 arches, and 40 columns. There are 2 bell towers that contain 35 bells in total. Inside, 2 large altars stand out, the sacristy and the choir. There are 16 chapels dedicated to different saints. It is possible, with a little bit of luck, to take a tour on the roof of the cathedral.
Aproximadamente una tonelada la campana, y para detenerla es muy sencillo.
Right by the entrance of the cathedral, on the left-hand side, the altar of the forgiveness is found, the very place where the 1967 fire started and one of the altars that suffered the most damage. From here on, everything that you can see is a true work of art. The choir is made up of a hemicycle and 2 Spanish Baroque type organs, measuring 50 feet high, 30 feet wide, and 9 feet deep. Some of the largest on the entire continent. The one at the entrance was made by José de Sesma in 1693 and consists of 3,200 flutes. It was brought from Spain in one piece and embedded by Mexican workers. Years later, the organ in front of it was brought to Mexico in 1735 made by José Nazarre, and consists of 3,500 flutes. Also known as the Mexican organ because the pieces were brought from Spain and it was assembled in Mexico. After the fire, the restoration was carried out by Miguel Ángel Soto and Sons. The choir, so called because it is here where the priests sing the lauds every day, has a hemicycle inside that consists of 2 floors, or decks, that in turn contain 59 chairs on the upper floor and 45 on the lower one. The blue veil covers the angel on the side of the organ that will not be played that day, while on the other side, the angel is uncovered. Therefore, it is the organ on that side that will be played that day. The fascistol that is in the center serves to hold the choir book, and it was a gift from the Bishop of Manila, Don Manuel Rojo del Rio, made in 1762 by José de Núñez, and it arrived in Mexico in 1766. The hemicycle, or ashlar masonry, was built between 1696 and 1697 by Juan de Rojas. The painting is the work of Cristóbal de Villalpando, replaces the original that was burnt and was made by Juan de Correa. Each saint in the hemicycle is separated from the other by these columns called the Solomonic columns. If you get up close and look carefully, you will notice how the chapels are richly adorned with altars, altarpieces, paintings, furniture, and sculptures. Different relevant historical events took place in this very building, such as the coronation of Agustín de Iturbide and Ana María Huarte as emperors of Mexico by the President of Congress on July 21, 1822. On June 12, 1864, the emperors Maximiliano de Habsburgo and Carlota held their reception here, the protection of the funeral remains of the aforementioned monarch. The burial site until 1925 of several of the heroes of independence, such as Miguel Hidalgo y Costilla and José María Morelos y Pavón. disputes between liberals and conservatives caused by the separation of church and state in the Reformation, the closure of the property in the days of the Cristero War. It's been said that there were different thefts and losses to the artistic heritage by the clergy and politicians to solve the consequences and political economic instability of the country. Silver lamps and lanterns, as well as gold vessels, were melted down to finance infighting in the mid-19th century. It is also said that the four-time governor of Mexico City, Juan José Vaz y Palafox, during Easter in 1856, was flat out denied the entry to the cathedral to participate in the Holy Thursday services, mounted on his horse. The negative response of the priest infuriated him, and the next day he returned with the artillery, which he placed in front of the atrium, sending the troops to surround the well-known building that he was about to demolish. Seeing the people mutiny in such a situation, tense and about to explode, led Vaz to fall back. On January 17, 1967, due to a short circuit, a fire was generated that caused a great loss of paintings, a large part of the altarpiece of the Altar of Forgiveness, and the two organs were damaged. I hope you enjoyed this brief history of Mexico City's cathedral. If so, subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, and join this growing community. Post a comment, or as many as you like. Let me know if there are any other places in Mexico you would like us to show on this channel. Hit the like button, and thank you. And remember, there is much more to come.